everybody. It's Safi and Marco, dish out on the movies.
Movies.
And today we are reviewing the final 2 episodes of
Fallout.
Masterchef.
Whoops.
And it was the finale, and it was in 2 parts. And of course, because of all the weeks they didn't have it on, it was another 2 episodes.
Yeah.
From 8 to 10 Eastern Time. So, I'll just get on with it. It was pretty low-key.
Yeah, I didn't think it felt like 2 hours. Mostly because I didn't really pay very much attention to the show. Because it really wasn't that interesting. You had 3 people who were just kind of like mid-tier. I mean, one of them, Michael, he was the clear best person there. And I would have found it strange if he didn't win. And so it just really wasn't very interesting, honestly. Like, I really wasn't very entertained. It just kind of felt like a fizzle out, like kind of like when we get Gordon Ramsay's frozen meals, and we're kind of excited a little bit, and then we put it in the oven or the microwave, and it comes out, and it's like, wah, 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 wah. That's what this finale was like.
And just a reminder to people, the person who wins or won, they would win kitchenware, like real fancy kitchenware, kitchen appliances, $250,000, and a MasterChef trophy. So, and I said all along too that it seems like people who are more likely to win, they have a desire, and they express that desire to be a chef, or that they've been interested in cooking all their lives. And it was 2 women. It was Becca, who's married, and she's 24 years old.
She's basically, she's like a college girl. She's like a college type of person, and, you know, I said before the episode started, maybe she will win. But then I thought about it, and I was like, probably not. Because, like, the whole time, she just made a bunch of, like, little errors that felt like this is like a college kid cooking a bunch of food for her friends or something. Almost like she's doing, like, a MasterChef reenactment at home. And, again, it just echoes my point that this season really felt like an off season. Turn off your fucking phone.
Excuse me, you don't need to swear.
Turn it off. That's a given.
Well,
You're at 600 subscribers.
Oh, be quiet.
Get some class.
Be quiet. Go to HELL hockey sticks.
Now, it was nice, I guess, to see past contestants that got sent home.
But they didn't have all of them.
They didn't show the Ukrainian woman.
She wasn't there.
The best chef of the season. I guess they couldn't bother to invite her either. You know, they fucked her over in the early part of the season, and then they were like, fuck you don't get to go to the finale either, biatch. So this season was like really like an anti-Ukrainian season. Like, I thought that the whole point of the season was so that we would give the Ukraine the award, and they're just like, fuck you. It's true.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's true. Like,
No.
they had a chance here to, you know, do something nice for Ukraine, and they're like, fuck you. And I feel like she would have done so much better than Kamei and Becca. Like, that would have been such a more interesting finale to see her in it, because, you know, Michael is not a perfect contestant either. He goes overboard. He has way too much going on some of his dishes.
And they've said that.
And he still managed to win. So, like, I don't understand why the Ukrainian girl was kind of, like, fucked over. It's kind of weird.
Let's talk about the contestants. It was Becca, who was Gen Z at age 24. And then we have Kamei, and she is an attorney.
Becca is like that.
Washington, D.C., and neither her nor Becca really talked about any kind of
generational stuff.
Well, they didn't talk about having a career in cooking.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't talk about having their own restaurant or.
Yeah.
And usually, to me, it seems like.
Well, all Kamei said was that she wanted to inspire people like her, which is like the typical thing. It's like, yeah, like
well,
that's a really generic thing to say. Like there wasn't any like, I want to own a restaurant or I want to start a food truck or I want to do this or that. It was just
usually what somebody who wins or is close to winning would say. And they did say something. They both really wanted it. Well, yeah. And Kamei said, Kamei seemed like she'd be a really good attorney. And she was really smart. And she was very intuitive. We'll talk about what they made or what their mistakes were. What all their mistakes were. But anyway, she still didn't have that. Like Michael, he said he's always wanted to be a chef, and he watched Masterchef with his mother.
Yeah.
Every season, and I mean, it was just like a solid thing. And all the things that he was cooking, he had to have had experience cooking them because he went all out. He did the same thing he's been doing all season. He goes a little overboard, so we'll talk about the dishes, but you had to have had experience cooking what he did in order to do as well as he did.
I wasn't, and also I will say, I wasn't wowed by any of the dishes personally. Like, and I'm saying that like honestly, like I kept an eye out, even though I wasn't paying very much attention to this finale. I didn't want to have the experience I had last year where I almost threw up. Right, Safi, like with that Kennedy girl and everything and her sister.
I was
like
very disappointed.
And they didn't do anything like that this year. They were like, let's not talk about the contestants' sexuality and gender bullshit.
Stupid.
So yeah, they knew what they did was wrong last year, but none of the dishes really wowed me. Like, I was kind of like just really underwhelmed by the dishes in terms of creativity, in terms of like, some of them just felt so boring and just uninteresting. And I will say like almost every single MasterChef, even Junior, almost every single finale that I've seen for both of those shows, there will always be like some good dishes in there. This has been the only one where I thought like, wow, I wouldn't want to eat any of those dishes, honestly. Because they didn't look very interesting. What do you think, Safi? I mean, do you want...
It was okay. I'm
really?
not into truffles.
Do you want tarragon in your dessert and shit?
No. We have to go through the foods, what they made.
Okay.
What I was going to do. Okay, well, first of all, another thing is they had to make an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, which is hilarious because at least this season they all made a dessert.
Yeah.
They had the experience of doing that, but they don't usually get that much experience.
Yeah.
And the theme was how it fits within their experiences and age. So, one of them's a Gen Z and the other two are millennials.
A dessert is also like a tiebreaker. I mean, they were even saying at one point, Becca has done terribly the first 2 rounds, but she's really good at making desserts, so we'll see what happens. And it's like, so really, they're legitimately saying she did badly the first 2 rounds, but if she makes a good chocolate cupcake, then they'll give her the victory.
No, that was never going to happen.
It could have. You very good there.
Okay, well, for the entree, we have to do the appetizer. So let me see. First of all, Rebecca made salmon. Becca made salmon, and of course you have crispy skinned salmon and leeks, and with tomato water, which To me, that doesn't sound good. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Tomato water? That sounds like watery tomato sauce.
Yeah, like instead of doing that, why don't you just give all the judges a V8?
That's not watery. That's thick.
That's, it's tomato juice.
But I didn't
thing.
get that tomato water thing. I've never heard of that.
I like V8. You like V8,
No,
Safi?
No.
Why?
No. Gross.
Oh.
But anyway, so I don't know what happened, but when she started cooking it, she didn't do something right. And she actually had to start over and cut up new pieces of little salmon, because this is an appetizer, and redo them, and she did get it to work out where they had crispy skin. Kamei, who apparently is Haitian, and so she was using her roots to make the food. So she made a spicy squash soup, a lobster tail, and rainbow chard. And she actually did, they liked it, but they were mad at her. Actually, both her and Becca, because neither one tasted their dish.
Yeah, that was another thing that was very odd. It was so odd. Like, this is the Masterchef finale, and contestants are not tasting their food.
And that's like something all chefs.
That's just another sign that, this is like an off season. This is not a normal season of the show.
That was strange.
Yeah.
And Michael, he did this thing where he made a truffle tortellini with mushrooms and asparagus. And he did all this stuff. He had all this different truffle stuff. He did 4 things with the truffle. And even they said, Chef Ramsay said he went overboard with it, but, quote, it is so bloody good. That's what he said. So he really liked it. So, he made tortellini, which means he had to home make the pasta. And then, of course, if you've seen them make these tortellinis, which they have done in previous seasons, more than once, they make the pasta, you put it through the pasta machine, and then you have to cut a certain size and fold it over, and then they have to be pinched, and it has something in it, which I guess was what, the truffle or the mushrooms, I don't know. But anyway, but they like that. So you can tell just by hearing what was made that he made a very, very Michelin star, grown-up chef, Masterchef worthy, restaurant worthy dish. Like a sushi fufu kind of dish, and that's what they really get into, of course. And then their entrees. So then after they talked about that, and Kamei had her lobster tail was cooked perfectly, even though she made the bad mistake of her and Becca not tasting their dish. She did not taste the lobster, so when they tasted, they didn't know whether it was going to be good or not. They didn't have a word for it at all. And then for the entrees, Becca made this isn't just in general. Becca made an herb-crusted lamb. Kamei made a pan-seared sea bass. And Michael made an herb-crusted rack of venison. So they were talking about how venison could be gamey. And the sea bass, she served it with a, passion fruit sauce. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever had passion fruit, but I guess it's pretty strong. It has a lot of seeds.
What about passion fruit Skittles?
But anyway, I didn't get to see them go through his meal, but I could tell at the end his was the best of all 3.
Yeah, they didn't have. I can't remember I was barely paying attention, but
I left the room for a few minutes, and I didn't realize they were going to hurry up and come back. They've been playing about.
Yeah, there's an hour.
So many advertisements.
We watched basically 1 hour of MasterChef and 1 hour of advertisements.
Yeah, we're not. But Kamei did a really good job, but none of them liked the sauce, and she was worried about it. She said it might be a problem. And one of them might have been Iran. I don't know. He said Iran. I'm sorry. This might be her Achilles heel. And then Becca, she made a cardinal sin. Everything was perfect except for the lamb, because guess what? What do you think was wrong?
It wasn't medium rare.
It was medium.
Oh.
That's, for them, those chefs, it's just like, that's cardinal sin.
Yeah.
So he did the best of all, in terms of their criticism. And then the last thing, of course, they're thinking Becca's going to do perfectly.
Becca.
She made a berry tart with mousse in it, I guess. And the tarts, she did not have, and I knew it when she said it, because I've made pie crust, and there's no way she had the oven at 300. It had to have been up higher, and they really did not have much time to make a mistake. And so, but she managed to put it back in and turn the oven up, and it was okay. But something about the mousse, they did not like the consistency of it. They didn't say it was, they said it wasn't right or something, but I don't know what they meant by that. I didn't understand. Then Kamei, she made a strawberry guava shortcake. And they were questioning, even though guava is a very good dessert, or a very good fruit, Aron has had it frequently, I guess. They thought the whole dessert was too simple compared to what the other two had done. And Michael made a peach cobbler, but he cooked the peaches. He cooked the, whatever you call it, the pastry or whatever it was it was pound cake. He made a pound cake, so he had to make a pound cake, which, you have to have cake in for a certain length of time or it won't be cooked. And he did that perfectly.
It could be medium rare.
Right.
And they'd be like, "Oh wow, Michael, even though it's raw in the middle, we commend you for doing something evolutionary by cooking medium rare cake." Right?
Marco's just joking, but
that's what they do.
His pound cake was fine, the peaches were fine, and he made homemade buttermilk ice cream. So he did all these things from scratch.
The buttermilk ice cream is an intriguing idea, actually, but everything else, not really.
So, anyway, they thought his dish worked really well together, but he and Becca did do extra things that Kamei really didn't do. And so they couldn't, even though, and she did another thing, I can't believe I almost forgot, which it really shocked me. She had a cream sauce that went over everything for the strawberry shortcake, and she put tarragon in it. And tarragon, I hate tarragon. It doesn't taste good. It's a spice that you put in meat.
And they said it was good though.
Yeah,
but the weird thing was they kept on saying it over and over again, which made me think that it was like they were brainwashing themselves into thinking it was good.
Yeah.
Like oh yeah, that rat crap that we ate last night was really good.
Yeah.
That rat crap that we ate last night was really good.
And so she thought,
right, Safi?
Marco.
Oh wait, that was Gordon Ramsay's frozen meals that we ate. Yeah, they were really, really, really good. Now we have to repeat that 10 times.
So anyway, she thought that was a real creative touch. But I mean, that isn't the point. These other people had done all this extra work.
If that's creative, then I'm going to be like, hey, Safi, I'm going to audition for Masterchef. You know what I'm going to give them? I'm going to give them a chocolate cake.
With tarragon on it.
With paprika on top. It's like, how does that... Like, yeah, it's creative because nobody would do that.
But so, anyway, obviously the winner was Michael. And if that's a problem that we gave that away, I'm sorry. But it really was a very, I would say, underwhelming show.
Yeah, I predicted it, though. And I will say this is the second year in a row where I predicted the winner. So I'm on a little bit of a streak now. I'm a winner.
Well, I thought he would probably win, too.
Like reality
I
winner.
just didn't... Kamei, I'm not saying her food was awful. It wasn't. And I'm not saying Becca's food was awful, but
it was just boring.
It was just not
and
at his... It wasn't up to his level.
It was kind of like, you know, just the whole finale was off. And it's all because they spent too much time this season focusing on gimmicks rather than getting good people to be there to cook. And like, yeah, I feel like this season quite possibly might be the worst season overall that I have watched of the show so far. Because regardless of whether or not other seasons have had some problems, in particular, there was that one where they had the kid and none of his parents showed up because they're horrible people, and then like everyone else there had their parents there. That was a terrible moment, and that arguably makes that season worse than this, but this season as a whole was weird, and it just was not very good. It was so unenjoyable to have to watch 2 episodes a night. And, the best chef there got sent home early on in the show.
Well, she was as good as him, or even better.
Yeah.
But
she was similar to him, too, in that they both kind of do a little too much.
Well, they also are more... They're not real brassy and loud and pushy. And he said that about himself. He's kind of introverted, and she was the same way. She said that when she did. It was those, their group competitions, and actually, he was the one that kind of shone, whatever, at the end when they had to do that restaurant, because he was knew what he was doing, and more, I don't know, he was stronger than the 2 people he was with on a team, but she was in one of those beginning group competitions where you just have too many unknowns and factors, and she got blamed for everything and got sent home, and I don't know. It wasn't right.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have been sent home.
And it was so funny how they did the same thing last year, remember?
Yeah.
They sent that really good chef home because of a cake problem. Yeah. Well, what would you give the finale? I would give it a D. I thought it was D for dumb.
Oh, I'll just give it a B. I thought it was underwhelming. I'm glad I'm glad Michael won.
Yeah, well, I wanted him to win, but it's just still, as a TV episode, it wasn't good.
It was just underwhelming. They did
not.
Marco was talking a little bit briefly about the former contestants. Now, I've never seen this. Usually they bring everybody back.
Yeah.
They only brought the latest people knocked off.
Yeah.
So that meant...
Cornhole was there.
Cornhole, or Horacio.
Warren,
and...
I wasn't really paying attention. Oh, in the dirt.
Butthead, and Rebecca, the pushy, older woman. And that was it, I believe, right? Oh, no, wait.
I think so.
Also, that girl that talks like a little girl.
Oh, yeah, the one. Oh, see, even you forgot about her.
Kimberly.
See?
I think it's Kimberly.
See? There is no Kimberly. Who is Kimberly?
Well, she was...
See?
There, but that's it. They knocked out everybody, all the people from before.
Even you don't know she's there. She's invisible. She doesn't exist.
They didn't show her until like almost the very end.
Who is Kimberly?
Marco, I'm not going to go on.
Who is that?
And none of these other people they didn't come. And the Ukrainian woman wasn't there.
I think what would have been fun is if they all got down there and played cornhole at the end.
Yeah.
With cornhole. She could lead them, and, you could see Chef Gordon doing cornhole with the cornhole girl.
And the girls, they were very, they totally were very good sports, and they knew he
I thought that was nice at the end, how both of them said something nice about Michael.
Everybody, I think, in the group is very agreed that he was the best.
So that was good. I like that.
I thought it was very supportive. So that's it, everybody, and we'll have one more review to do.
And that is we went to Walmart to get stuff not not frozen related, but then I saw, because I wanted to look, because I was curious. I wanted to see how the Ramsay meals were selling. Nobody's buying the appetizers at all. They're like, there's all these crab cakes and shit. Nobody wants them because they know they're trash. And then the meals, they switched out some of the meals for new ones. And they must have been watching our reviews or something. And so, or I don't know why they did that. So we bought 2 of them for this week. Because we figure, we're completionists. And, I guess we'll have to keep reviewing them when they come out. Even though they're probably going to be bad.
Well, I was actually looking for, Travis Kelce is supposed to be doing the same thing.
Really?
He's not a chef.
No. Is his wife is his girlfriend going to cook them?
No.
Is Taylor Swift going to cook the meals? Why not?
No. Anyway.
Why can't she do that?
I don't know who was going to cook them, but they were going to have, because he's on the Kansas City team, and of course in Kansas City we have tons of barbecue everywhere, and we're known for that. It was going to be like barbecue related meals, but he was in a series over the summer. He filmed a series, so there's a part in a series on TV. I don't know what that's about, and anyway, I guess he was too busy doing that. And of course,
I don't know.
He was too busy playing football. So
Really?
yeah, so they didn't have those, but they did have these new meals. We tried them, and we'll let you know when we do the review.
They also got rid of all of Andrew Zimmerman's meals. The guy from Bizarre Foods, he had meals there.
Really?
And they got rid of his, but they still have that one black woman, I don't know her name. They have her meals, and they have Guy Fieri's. Yeah. But something really weird that they did was that they took all the meals and they switched them over to the other aisle, or to the other side. Like, they were on the right side, and then they moved them to the left. That was really weird. They did a switcheroo. Yeah.
So that's it, everybody. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers. And you can...
Who is Kimberly?
Marco, let's not. She was...
Who
she's the
is
one that grows a lot of vegetables. So... But anyway, she talks like a little girl. And she was very positive and was very
But what
enthusiastic.
is Kimberly?
Okay, Marco, that's it. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.